Georgia sun scorches asphalt black. A '69 Camaro SS bleeds candy apple red across the parking lot. Chrome wheels flash like knives. Leather seats exhale cognac. Jill Scott's golden pulses through custom speakers. Maya Thornton, 43, uncoils from the driver's seat. Natural hair twisted, dark jeans, white silk, cognac leather jacket, Hermes Birkin Real, Patek Philippe Inerited, a hand pail, knuckles ridged slaps the hood, not taps, slaps, like claiming livestock. Step back from the vehicle. Officer Brent Callahan, badge number 2847, 14 years, protecting and serving. Jawline sharp, eyes ice-chip blue, right hand crushes his radio, left hand shadows his gun. Maya locks in place, not from fear, from calculation. Phones thrust skyward like periscopes. The crowd swells. A teenager lemonade braids. iPhone 15 prospers the moment with livestream. Viewer count erupts. 127, 389, 1,003. This vehicle's been reported stolen. Callahan's voice cleaves summer air. Proof of ownership. Now! Maya's throat constricts. Her phone convulses. 17th missed call. Senator Rebecca Walsh. Emergency session. Senate Bill 2847 Police Accountability and Reparations Act. Maya's committee, Maya's bill, Maya's legacy. The math detonates in her skull. 15 minutes until vote, one bigot blocking democracy, 2,000 witnesses recording 200 years of this nightmare looping the irony. Ignites, Senate Bill 2847, Officer Badge 2847. Some coincidences don't whisper. They scream. The questions detonate. What explodes when the woman writing laws confronts the cop breaking them? What ignites when hidden power stops asking permission? What shatters when a black woman quits explaining and starts executing? The trap snaps shut. The reckoning detonates. And Officer Callahan has no idea he just profiled the one woman in Georgia who can end him. Maya's hands lift slow, visible weaponized patience, not surrender. Chess. The Camaro burns red behind her. Detective Raymond Thornton's legacy. APD retired 2019. 32 years bleeding for Atlanta. 97 bullets still lodged in his shoulder. Vietnam Purple Heart. NAACP Lifetime Achievement Award. This car survived all of it. Now Callahan's palm defiles the hood. How'd you afford this? He circles predator, prey, ancient dance. What you do for work? The question drips venom. Translation screaming beneath. What did you steal? Who did you fuck? Which white man bought you? Maya's jaw welds shut. Her attaché case waits in passenger seat. Inside, Senate credentials, federal clearances, police reform bills bearing her signature, the power to annihilate his career, but her hands stay visible. Her voice stays surgical. Officer Callahan. She dissects his name tag. Badge 2847, I can... Ma'am! His hand drops to radio. Save it. Mrs. Loretta Jenkins, 76, retired court clerk, 43 years watching justice fail, rams through bystanders. She recognizes Maya. Officer, that woman is... Step back. His voice cracks like a bullwhip. Mrs. Jenkins recoils, but her eyes burn recognition, vindication, rage. Livestream 8,934 viewers. Comments explode. Not again. Somebody help her. Driving while black. Maya's phone spasms in her pocket. Senator Walsh. Again. The bill needs 7 votes. Split 6-6. Maya breaks the tie. Without her, police qualified immunity survives. Body cameras die. Oversight boards collapse. $4.2 billion evaporates. 14 minutes remaining. Callahan keys his radio. Unit 28, backup requested, 10-854 stolen vehicle recovery, subject non-compliant, crowd hostile. Non-compliant. Maya authored that definition. The word police wield when black bodies don't perform submission fast enough. Now she wears it. Callahan's eyes calculate. Black woman plus expensive car equals theft. Designer clothes plus no fear equals attitude. Calm demeanor plus legal language equals criminal training. Everything equals guilty. Maya knows this equation. She dissected it in committees, eviscerated it on Senate floors, weaponized it in legislation. Understanding racism doesn't shield you from bleeding under it. Empty your pockets. Backup swarms 2 cruisers, 4 officers. The circle constricts. Cameras multiply. The dynamic seems obvious. 1 cop, 1 black woman, 1 outcome. But Maya's eyes flicker to her briefcase. Inside that leather lies the weapon that ends this. Not yet. Timing kills. Callahan produces handcuffs. Metal catches sunlight, bright, sharp, familiar. Maya's seen these before, on her father's belt, on defendants, on protesters she defended, never on her own wrists. Turn around! The crowd gasps. Mrs. Jenkins's phone trembles as she dials a number memorized 40 years ago. Live stream erupts. 15,000 viewers. Georgia State Capitol. Senator Walsh checks her watch. 13 minutes until vote. The trap snaps tighter. Sergeant Marcus Webb rolls up Unit 47. 26 years on APD. 3 excessive force complaints buried as unfounded. He scans tactical. Muscle car worth $80,000 minimum. Black woman, 0 distress. Crowd of 200 plus. Phones raised like riot shields. News van prowling. This reeks of litigation. Callahan, status? Subject refuses documentation. Vehicle matches Buckhead stolen report. Webb's eyebrow spikes. Buckhead? Wrong jurisdiction. Wrong everything. Officer Janet Torres, rookie, 9 months, body cam recording approaches. She learned de-escalation, constitutional rights, community policing. This isn't that. Ma'am, step away while we verify. Maya's voice slices. Officer Torres, badge 8193. 4th Amendment prohibits unreasonable search. Probable cause requires more than racial profiling. Torres freezes. Civilians don't talk like that. Lawyers do. Jasmine Cooper, 19. Spelman sophomore, mass comm major. TikTok handle, or Justice Jazz narrates real time. 23,847 viewers watching. Y'all, this is insane. Sister just quoted the Constitution and they're still treating her like a criminal. This is literally why we need SB 2847. She stops. SB 2847. Callahan's badge, 2847. Oh my God, she breathes into her phone. Y'all, the irony. Comments detonate. What are the odds? God don't like ugly. 2847 Justice. I'm invoking my 4th Amendment right. Maya's voice cuts clean. Callahan's face reddens. Probable cause is suspected theft. Based on what evidence? My skin? Based on this vehicle matching? Show me the stolen vehicle report. Her voice hardens to steel. License plate, VN, registration. Silence crushes him. Because there is no report. There never was. Maya's attaché sits inches away. Inside, Senate ID with hologram seal. Federal clearance, Governor Kemp letters, photo with Biden, nuclear option. Opening it means sudden movement, escalation, justification for Callahan to draw. So, it stays closed. For now. Mrs. Jenkins shoves past the perimeter. 40 years of courthouse authority cracks her voice. That woman is Senator Maya Thornton, Criminal Justice Reform Committee chair. Her father was Detective Ray Thornton. He worked with half of you. Callahan's hand twitches toward cuffs. Ma'am, final. I worked with Judge Patricia Thornton 30 years. That's her daughter. Ray's baby girl. And you're about to destroy your miserable career. The radio crackles. All units be advised. Georgia State Capitol reports Senator Maya Thornton missing from emergency session. SB 2847 vote delayed. Any information on whereabouts? Webb's face drains white. Torres's body cam captures everything. Callahan's hand drops. Live stream 47,892 viewers. Webb grabs his radio. Dispatch. Describe the missing senator. African-American female, 43, 5'7", jeans and white blouse, red 1969 Camaro, plate Darthorn. Webb stares at the plate. Darthorn. Detective Raymond Thornton. Jesus Christ, he whispers. Callahan's face cycles. confusion, disbelief, horror, denial. That doesn't prove... Brent. Webb's voice drops lethal. Stop. Talking. Now. But Callahan's pride won't bend. She still hasn't provided documentation. Protocol. Shut up. Webb hisses. 11 minutes until vote. The reckoning accelerates. Maya's fingers glide toward her attaché case. Slow. Deliberate. Every eye tracks the movement. Callahan's hand hovers over his gun. Old habits. Muscle memory. Fear. Ma'am, do not reach for... Officer Callahan. Maya's voice peels paint off cars. You have two options. Holster your weapon and let me retrieve my identification. Or draw on a sitting state senator on live television in front of 50,000 witnesses. Live stream, 52,184 viewers. The math crushes him. His hand retreats. The leather sighs as Maya flips it open. Inside, nestled against cream vellum paper, Georgia State Senate identification. Senator Maya Renee Thornton, District 35, Criminal Justice Reform Committee Chair, Armed Security Clearance Level 4. The seal catches sunlight, gold, official, undeniable. The crowd erupts, not in anger, in vindication. Mrs. Jenkins's hands fly to her mouth. 40 years watching black people humiliated. Finally, the tables flip. Jasmine's live stream explodes. Yo, she's a senator. That cop is done. Oh, he's cooked, career over. Senator Thornton trending worldwide. Hashtag Senator Thornton trends #1 nationally in 90 seconds. Senator Thornton. Webb snaps to professional attention. 26 years of instinct. We had no idea. Of course you didn't. Maya closes the portfolio with surgical precision. Because you saw a black woman in an expensive car and made assumptions based on prejudice, not evidence. Each word lands like a gavel strike. This Camaro belonged to Detective Raymond Thornton, badge 1847, retired 2019 after 32 years. He restored this car with his own hands, every bolt, every wire, every memory. She produces the registration. Clear, legal, undeniable. Transferred to Maya R. Thornton, February 14, 2021, 3 years ago, the day after his funeral. The detail shreds whatever justification Callahan thought he had. My father bled for this city. East Atlanta, The Bluff, Zone 3. Places you avoid on patrol. He walked those streets for 32 years. Took a bullet in 97, saving a woman from her abusive husband. Maya's voice tightens. Not with tears. With rage compressed into diamond-hard precision. He testified in 47 excessive force cases against officers like you, officers who thought the badge made them untouchable. I chair the Criminal Justice Reform Committee. I've reviewed your file, Officer Callahan. His knees nearly buckle. 14 complaints, 9 use-of-force incidents, 3 civil rights lawsuits, $427,000 in settlements paid by Atlanta taxpayers. Webb's face hardens. He didn't know those numbers. Internal affairs keeps them buried. And here's what you don't know, officer. The emergency session I'm missing? We're voting on your federal lawsuit. Case number 2024 CR 2847. Badge number 2847. Senate Bill 2847. Federal case 2024 CR 2847. The universe has a sick sense of humor. Angela Rodriguez, traffic stop, September 2022. You alleged she matched a suspect description. She alleged you profiled her because she's black and drove a BMW. Callahan's face bleaches white. That case sits on my desk, my committee. My vote determines whether it goes to federal trial or gets dismissed. Maya produces a small digital recorder from her jacket pocket. California Penal Code Section 148G protects citizen recording. Georgia Code Section 16-1162 confirms it. I've been recording this entire encounter. Callahan's career flashes before his eyes. Mrs. Jenkins steps forward, emboldened. I tried to tell you. 43 years I worked in municipal court. I watched Ray Thornton testify. I watched Maya Thornton argue cases as a public defender before she ran for Senate. Her finger jabs at Callahan. You wouldn't listen to an old black woman. Because we don't matter to you either. Channel 2. News van screeches into the lot. Reporter Maria Santos leaps out with camera crew. Senator Thornton, can you comment on this incident? Maya turns to face the camera directly. I can comment on the systemic failure that leads to racial profiling. I can comment on the violation of my Fourth Amendment rights. I can comment on the fact that a sitting state senator, her voice climbs with controlled fury, was publicly humiliated, threatened with arrest, and had her constitutional rights violated while trying to attend a legislative session to vote on police accountability measures. The irony detonates across social media. Live stream, 89,347 viewers. Officer Callahan profiled me because I'm black, because he couldn't imagine a black woman legitimately owning this car, because his prejudice matters more than evidence. She holds up her Senate ID to the cameras. This badge doesn't protect me from racism, it just makes the racism more documented. Hashtag documented, while black trends number 2. The power has shifted, the reckoning intensifies. Black Suburban tears into the parking lot. Commissioner Diane Hayes exits with the authority of 34 years in law enforcement. Atlanta's first black female police commissioner, appointed 2021, Mrs. Loretta Jenkins's daughter. The irony multiplies. Senator Thornton. Hayes extends her hand with professional respect. I apologize for this unconscionable violation of your rights. Commissioner. Maya doesn't take the hand. Your apology is noted. But accountability requires more than words. Maya opens her portfolio fully. Inside, printed records, highlighted sections, documented patterns. Officer Callahan's history speaks for itself. 14 complaints in 14 years, 9 use-of-force incidents, 3 federal civil rights lawsuits, $427,000 in taxpayer-funded settlements. 67% of his stops target black drivers, despite black residents being 51% of his patrol area. She reads from official documents, each statistic a nail in Callahan's professional coffin. Atlanta's police liability insurance carrier, Municipal Risk Partners, has flagged Officer Callahan as a high-risk officer. His individual policy costs exceed $47,000 annually. 3 times the department average. Hayes's jaw tightens. She didn't know that number. If he remains on force, the department's premiums increase 8%. That's $3.2 million annually. Money that could fund body cameras, community programs, de-escalation training. The math crushes budgetary illusions. Torres steps forward, body cam still rolling. Senator, for the record, I reviewed Officer Callahan's stop history last month during my field training. His pattern of targeting black drivers in expensive vehicles is statistically significant. Callahan's head snaps toward her, betrayal in his eyes. But Torres doesn't flinch. 9 months on the force. She joined to serve, not to cover up. I reported it to my training officer. The complaint was marked unsubstantiated. Hayes's radio crackles. Chief of Police requesting immediate conference call. Maya produces another document. Department of Justice investigation, 2019 through 2023. Atlanta Police Department shows concerning patterns of racial bias in traffic stops. Your department is already under federal monitoring. She taps the page. This incident captured on multiple cameras witnessed by hundreds involving a state senator will trigger expanded DOJ investigation. Your department will face federal oversight, consent decree mandates, quarterly auditing, public transparency requirements, million-dollar compliance costs. Mrs. Jenkins addresses the cameras directly. I'm Loretta Jenkins. I worked in Atlanta courts for 43 years. I'm Commissioner Hayes's mother, and I'm ashamed. Her voice cracks with emotion. I watched my daughter fight for this job. First black woman commissioner in Atlanta history. And this is what she inherited. Officers who see black skin and assume criminality. She points at Callahan. My daughter can't reform you if you won't reform yourselves. Livestream viewers, 127,493. Hashtag Senator Thornton, 2.4 million tweets. CNN breaking news, alert sent. MSNBC requesting live interview. Fox News calling it alleged incident. The story metastasizes beyond local news. Maya unveils her final document. Officer Callahan, you're named in Angela Rodriguez's federal lawsuit. Case 2024 CR 2847. She alleged you profiled her during a traffic stop in Buckhead, September 2022. Callahan's face drains of blood. She claimed you assumed her BMW was stolen. You demanded proof of ownership. You threatened arrest. You called backup. You humiliated her in front of witnesses. Every word echoes today's incident. The case was scheduled for committee review today. My committee. My vote breaks a 6-6 tie on whether to recommend federal prosecution. I couldn't vote because I was here, being profiled by you. Again. The mathematical poetry destroys him. Ms. Rodriguez's case now has corroborating evidence. A second incident. Same officer, same pattern, same prejudice. Maya's voice drops to lethal quiet. Your actions today didn't just violate my rights. You validated her lawsuit. You proved her case. You ended your career. Commissioner Hayes steps forward. Senator Thornton, what remedies are you seeking? Officer Callahan has 3 options. The parking lot falls silent. 129,000 people hold their breath. His choice will determine not only his career, but the trajectory of police reform in Georgia. 8 minutes until Senate vote. The ultimatum approaches. Maya's voice cuts through summer heat. Option 1. Officer Callahan submits to immediate suspension. Federal investigation under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 proceeds. He faces criminal charges for civil rights violations, personal liability up to $2.3 million, permanent termination from law enforcement, forfeiture of pension benefits, federal prison time, 1 to 10 years. Callahan's knees wobble, his wife, his kids, his mortgage. This option protects his constitutional right to due process. It also protects every citizen he might profile tomorrow. Option 2. Voluntary demotion to patrol officer, lowest rank. Salary reduction, 40%. Completion of 400 hours bias training conducted by Black community leaders. He testifies before Georgia State Legislature about dangers of racial profiling. He becomes a case study in every Georgia police academy. The crowd murmurs. Second chances are rare in civil rights violations. He keeps his pension, keeps his health care, keeps his dignity, but he earns it through education and public service. Torres's eyes widen. Restorative justice in action. Option 3. Immediate retirement with full benefits. He acknowledges his mindset represents outdated policing. He forfeits any future role in law enforcement or private security. He avoids prosecution but never wears a badge again. Webb calculates political implications. This protects the department from federal investigation, removes a problem officer, minimizes publicity. Officer Callahan has 60 seconds to choose. His decision is binding and immediately effective. Callahan's mind races. Option 1 equals prison. 3 years from retirement. $87,000 salary. Medical benefits. His daughter's college fund. Gone. Option 2 equals humiliation. Standing before legislators, admitting prejudice, becoming the cautionary tale, but survival. Option 3 equals surrender. Walk away, preserve some dignity, but never work again. Never feel the weight of the badge. Jasmine's live stream comments flood. Take option 1, lock him up. He doesn't deserve option 2, make him pay. Option 3, letting him off easy, no justice, no peace. But other voices emerge. Option 2, a real change, let him teach others. Transformation over punishment, break the cycle. Webb grips Callahan's shoulder. Brent, think about Julie. Think about your kids. Think about what happens if you fight this. His voice drops to whisper. You're guilty. Everyone knows it. 130,000 people watched it live. You don't have a defense. You have a choice. Hayes watches her department's future balance on this moment. Option 1. Federal investigation. consent decree, years of oversight, millions in costs. Option 2, demonstrates accountability, shows reform is possible, protects other officers from similar mistakes. Option 3, quiet resolution, minimal press, but no systemic change. She knows which one serves justice. She also knows which one protects budgets. Maya checks her watch. 30 seconds, Officer Callahan. Her phone vibrates. Senator Walsh. We're holding the floor vote. Where are you? The bill that could reform policing statewide. The bill that could prevent thousands of future humiliations. The bill that hangs on Maya's absent vote, all because Callahan saw black skin and assumed guilt. Callahan's voice cracks, I choose option 2. The parking lot erupts. Half the crowd cheers redemption is possible. Half the crowd boo she deserves prison. Maya raises her hand. Silence falls. Officer Callahan, your choice demonstrates potential for growth, but potential means nothing without action. She produces a pre-written contract from her portfolio. This memorandum of understanding outlines your requirements. Immediate demotion, effective now. 400 hours bias training, completed within 6 months. Testimony before state legislature within 90 days. Monthly progress reports to Commissioner Hayes. Monthly meetings with Angela Rodriguez's legal team. Public apology written and recorded within 72 hours. Zero tolerance 1 complaint triggers option 1. Callahan's hand trembles as he signs. His career as he knew it ends on a clipboard in a mall parking lot while 130,000 people watch. But his career as a symbol of change begins. Commissioner Hayes, you'll receive a copy. This becomes part of his permanent file. Violation means immediate federal prosecution with no negotiation. Hayes nods. She knows this is the best possible outcome. Senator Walsh is calling again, Torres says quietly. Maya checks her watch. 6 minutes until Senate vote. The choice is made, but the reckoning isn't finished. Maya produces a second document. Thicker, more comprehensive, pre-written with legal precision. Commissioner Hayes, this is a memorandum of understanding between the Georgia State Senate Criminal Justice Reform Committee and the Atlanta Police Department. She hands copies to Hayes, the news cameras, and Jasmine for live stream documentation. These reforms will be implemented within 90 days or your department faces federal intervention. Mandatory body cameras for all traffic stops. Non-negotiable, non-optional. Footage reviewed by Civilian Oversight Board within 48 hours. 4K resolution, 140-degree field of view. Cloud storage, encrypted, tamper-proof. Automatic activation when weapons drawn. Manual deactivation requires supervisor approval. Officers who forget to activate. Automatic suspension. Cost, $4.7 million initial, $890,000 annual maintenance. Maya's voice cuts clean. Body cameras don't prevent racism, but they document it, and documentation destroys deniability. Quarterly bias training, 16 hours minimum. Not online modules, not checkbox exercises, real training conducted by community organizations, African American history and systemic racism, constitutional rights workshop, de-escalation techniques, cultural competency training, role-playing scenarios with community members, monthly ride-alongs with civil rights advocates, cost, $650,000 quarterly. Officers will learn what they should have learned in academy. They'll learn why black people fear traffic stops. They'll learn what it feels like to be profiled. Monthly public reports on traffic stop demographics. Every stop, every officer, every outcome. Published online with searchable database. Driver race, gender, age, stop reason, stated versus actual, duration of stop, search conducted, yes or no, contraband found, yes or no, outcome, warning, ticket or arrest, officer name and badge number, geographic location, cost, $280,000 for database system. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. When officers know their patterns will be analyzed publicly, their behavior changes. Independent civilian review board with subpoena power. Not advisory, not symbolic. Real authority to investigate, discipline, and terminate. 11 members, 7 must be people of color. 3 must have experienced police misconduct. 2 must be attorneys with civil rights experience. 2 must be mental health professionals. 1 must be formerly incarcerated. No current or former law enforcement. Subpoena power for testimony and evidence. Binding recommendations on discipline. Public hearings for all complaints. Cost: $1.2 million annually for staffing and operations. No more investigations where police investigate police. No more complaints marked unfounded by the same department that employed the offender. Individual liability insurance for all officers. Like doctors, like lawyers, like any profession where mistakes cost lives. $2 million minimum coverage. Department pays base premium. Officer pays premium increases for complaints. 3 complaints equals uninsurable equals unemployable. Insurance companies assess individual risk. Market forces create accountability where policy failed. Maya's voice hardens. If your driving record makes you uninsurable, you can't drive. If your policing record makes you uninsurable, you can't police. Security Supervisor Carlos Martinez steps forward with corporate attorney on speakerphone. Senator Thornton, Lenox Square commits to parallel reforms. Bias reporting kiosks in all parking areas, monthly community advisory panels, $750,000 annual civil rights education fund, zero tolerance for discriminatory security practices, partnership with local NAACP chapter. Corporate America learns fast when liability looms. Commissioner Hayes addresses the cameras. These reforms will be implemented. Not because we're being forced, because it's right. She turns to Callahan. Your case will be the last one where an officer profiles someone and faces minimal consequences. The system that protected you is over. Maya's phone buzzes. Senator Walsh. We're starting the vote. Conference call in 3 minutes. Commissioner, I need to attend my legislative session now, the same session Officer Callahan prevented me from attending. She gestures to the crowd, the cameras, the witnesses. This parking lot is now a crime scene. Federal civil rights violation scene. Every witness here may be called to testify. Every video may be used as evidence. 6 months from now, there will be a historical marker here, explaining what happened, explaining how one officer's prejudice triggered statewide reform. Maya looks directly at Callahan. You wanted to arrest me. Instead, you arrested your own career. You wanted to humiliate me. Instead, you educated a nation. She picks up her attaché case. That's the difference between power and authority. Power can be taken. Authority must be earned. Maya strides toward her Camaro. The crowd parts like the Red Sea. Mrs. Jenkins embraces her. Your daddy would be proud, baby girl. Jasmine's live stream captures the moment perfectly. Final viewer count, 247,893. Hashtag Senator Thornton, 4.7 million tweets. Hashtag APDR Reform trending #1 worldwide. Maya starts the engine. The Camaro's V8 rumbles to life. Her father's legacy purring with satisfaction. The reforms are written. The vote awaits. The Camaro screams through Atlanta traffic. Red lights, horn blaring. State senator privileges fully exercised. Maya's phone on Bluetooth. Senator Walsh's voice crackles through speakers. Maya, where the hell have you been? Being profiled by APD officer Brent Callahan while trying to attend session. Silence. You're kidding. 147,000 people watched it live on TikTok. CNN is calling it the parking lot reckoning. And Becky, the officer's badge number is 2847. No. Yes. The universe has jokes today. Maya takes the Capitol steps 3 at a time. Security waves her through. They've been watching the live streams too. Whispers follow her through marble halls. That's her. I saw the video. She just destroyed that cop's career, queen shit. The Senate chamber falls silent when she enters. Senate Bill 2847, Police Accountability and Reparations Act, $4.2 billion reparations fund for documented police violence victims. Universal body camera mandates, civilian oversight boards in all jurisdictions, qualified immunity reform, ban on no-knock warrants, use of force reporting requirements, current vote, 6-6 tie. Maya's vote breaks the deadlock. Senator Howard Whitfield, Republican from Alpharetta, stands. Old guard. 3 terms, former prosecutor, defender of the status quo. Senator Thornton. I'm glad you could finally join us. I trust your tardiness had good reason. His tone drips with condescension. Maya stands at her desk. Senator Whitfield, I was detained by an Atlanta police officer who profiled me while I drove my deceased father's car. He assumed I stole it because I'm black. He threatened arrest. He violated my Fourth Amendment rights. He delayed this vote on a bill designed to prevent exactly what he did to me. The chamber erupts. The officer's name is Brent Callahan, badge 2847, the same number as this bill. He has 14 complaints, 9 use-of-force incidents, and $427,000 in settlements paid by Georgia taxpayers. She opens her portfolio. While you all sat here debating whether police accountability matters, I experienced firsthand why it matters. I was recording the encounter. I have evidence. I have witnesses. I have 247,000 people who watched it live. Senator Whitfield pales. Senator Whitfield, you've argued this bill is too expensive. Let me give you some numbers. Georgia pays $68 million annually in police misconduct settlements. Federal consent decrees cost taxpayers $290 million over 5 years. Police liability insurance premiums increased 34% since 2020. Atlanta's current insurance bill, $47 million annually. She lets the math sink in. This bill's $4.2 billion over 10 years equals $420 million annually. We're already paying more than that in lawsuits, settlements, and insurance. We're just paying it to lawyers instead of victims. My father, Detective Raymond Thornton, served APD for 32 years. He took a bullet in 1997. He testified against bad cops 47 times. He taught me that the badge means something. Her voice tightens with emotion. Today, Officer Callahan spat on that badge. He made a mockery of everything my father bled for, and he did it because he saw black skin and assumed criminality. Senate President Karen Wu calls for vote. Senate Bill 2847. All in favor? 7 hands rise, including Maya's. All opposed? 6 hands rise. The bill passes 7-6. Senate Bill 2847 is hereby approved and will proceed to the governor's desk. The gallery explodes in applause. Outside the Capitol, news crews swarm. Senator Thornton, how do you feel? Maya faces the cameras. I feel what every black person in America feels when they see police lights in their rearview mirror. Fear, humiliation, anger. But I also feel something else. Power. She holds up her Senate ID. This badge doesn't protect me from racism, but it gives me a platform to fight it. Officer Callahan thought he was arresting a criminal. He was actually inspiring legislation. Governor Brian Kemp's office releases statement within the hour. After reviewing video of Senator Thornton's encounter with APD Officer Callahan, I am committed to signing Senate Bill 2847. No citizen, especially not a sitting state senator, should be profiled based on race. Georgia will lead the nation in police accountability reform. Political calculation? Absolutely. But also progress. By evening news cycle, CNN, Georgia passes sweeping police reform after senator profiled. MSNBC, the parking lot that changed legislation. Fox News, Atlanta senators encounter sparks controversial bill. NPR, when the lawmaker becomes the victim, police reform 2.0. 37 other states announce similar legislation within 48 hours. Maya drives the Camaro home. Sunset over Atlanta skyline. Her father's car, her father's legacy, her father's fight continued. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. Senator Thornton, this is Angela Rodriguez. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for vindicating my case. Thank you for using your power. Thank you for not staying silent." Maya's eyes water. "Miss Rodriguez, thank you for having the courage to file your lawsuit. Your case gave me the evidence I needed. We vindicated each other. The vote is won, but the reckoning continues." Part 8. The Transformation, 700 words, 6 months later. Patrol Officer Brent Callahan, demoted, stripped of seniority, sits in a folding chair at Sweet Auburn Library. Around him, 40 black community members. His first bias training session. Instructor, Dr. James Wilson, 67, civil rights historian, arrested 11 times during freedom rides. "Officer Callahan, tell us why you're here." His voice cracks. "I profiled State Senator Maya Thornton because I saw a black woman with an expensive car and assumed she stole it." 3 months pass. Georgia State Legislature. Callahan stands at the podium, every seat filled, C-SPAN cameras rolling. "My name is Brent Callahan. For 14 years, I was a racist cop who didn't know I was racist." The chamber holds its breath. "I saw black skin and assumed danger. I saw expensive cars and assumed theft. I saw confidence and assumed criminality. I was wrong about everything." His testimony helps pass complementary legislation in 12 other states. 6 months in. Police Academy Lecture Hall, 180 new recruits. Callahan's humiliation plays on screen. The parking lot encounter, the live stream, the reveal. "This is what prejudice looks like," the instructor says. "This is what it costs." Callahan teaches the class afterwards. A recruit asks, "How do we avoid becoming you?" "You question your assumptions every single day. You remember that badge makes you a servant, not a master. You understand that every person you stop is someone's daughter, someone's father, someone who matters." The Robert and Raymond Thornton Foundation for Justice raises $18 million in 6 months, 127 scholarships for black law students, mentorship program pairing, black attorneys with police reform advocates, free legal aid for police misconduct victims. Motto: character over color, evidence over assumption. Jasmine Cooper's TikTok live stream launches her journalism career. Full scholarship to Columbia Journalism School. Part-time investigative reporter for Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Emmy nomination for The Parking Lot documentary. 2.7 million followers across platforms. Her bio: I record truth. Truth changes worlds. Mrs. Loretta Jenkins, at 76, chairs Atlanta's Civilian Police Oversight Board. Reviewed 234 complaints in 6 months. Recommended termination for 8 officers. Mandated retraining for 47 officers. Exonerated 12 officers of false complaints. Her office door sign: 40 years watching, now acting. Officer Janet Torres, promoted to detective, leads APD's new Constitutional Policing Division. Trains recruits in de-escalation and bias recognition. Youngest detective in department history at 26. Her testimony about Callahan's pattern validated by internal investigation. I joined to serve, not to cover up. This is what good cops actually do. Angela Rodriguez's federal case settles. $1.2 million, compensatory damages, public apology from APD, policy changes bearing her name, Angela's law, state legislation requiring insurance for officers. She now directs nonprofit. Latinos Against Police Discrimination, Atlanta Police Department, 6-month report. Body cameras, 100% compliance rate, 2,847 traffic stops recorded. 34 officers flagged for bias patterns, 12 officers terminated, 89% reduction in excessive force complaints. Bias training, 1,200 officers completed 64-hour program. Community satisfaction increased 41%. Officer satisfaction increased 28%. Good cops want accountability. Data transparency, monthly reports published online, stop demographics analyzed in public. Racial profiling complaints down 67%. Community trust up 53%. Civilian Oversight Board, 234 cases reviewed. Average resolution time, 19 days. Previously 9 months. 94% of community members satisfied with transparency. 83% of officers support legitimate oversight. The national ripple. 37 states passed similar legislation. $847 million in new funding for reform. Police academies nationwide using the parking lot as case study. Insurance industry now requiring bias training for coverage. Lenox Square Mall, historical marker dedication, bronze plaque. On this site, July 15, 2024, State Senator Maya Thornton was profiled by APD officer Brent Callahan while driving her father's car. The encounter, witnessed by 247,193 live-stream viewers, catalyzed Georgia's Police Accountability and Reparations Act, SB 2847, and inspired reform in 37 states. This parking lot became a classroom for justice. Maya stands beside the marker. Press conference. Cameras everywhere. 6 months ago, I was humiliated here. Today, this space represents transformation. Callahan approaches, not in uniform. Civilian clothes, no badge, no authority, just accountability. Senator Thornton, I owe you an apology that extends beyond words. Officer Callahan, you gave me something better than an apology. You gave me evidence that change is possible. They don't shake hands. Some wounds don't heal with gestures. But they stand together for the photo. The profiler and the profiled. The reformed and the reformer. Maya drives away in the Camaro. Same car, same power, different world. In her rearview mirror, the historical marker, the crowd, the cameras. And somewhere in Atlanta, 1,200 police officers wearing body cameras, completing bias training, understanding that the badge means service, not supremacy. Her father's voice in her memory, baby girl, justice delayed is justice denied. But justice achieved through education is justice that endures. The Camaro's engine rumbles, a sound of power, a sound of legacy, a sound of victory.